Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'll literally just dive straight into this video. So this video is gonna be a life update. This revelation that I got from God actually concerning social media, and also bits and bobs about my first trimester. So if you haven't seen yet, life update is I am pregnant. We are pregnant. We're expecting a little baby boy. So we did post a revealing video out where we took you through some of the pregnancy, like the first bit of it, and then we revealed to you that we're having a little baby boy. So I'm gonna be a boy mom, which I'm really excited about. So we knew we were gonna have a boy from early for different reasons, but basically I'll do a video as to why I felt and how I knew I was gonna have a boy from very early on. But yeah, anyways, that's another whole thing. So yeah, before I even get into the first trimester bits and bobs, I do just need to speak a little bit about the life update slash the revelation I got about social media from God. So this revelation was such a big hit for me, and I know a lot of you follow me personally because of like fashion and stuff like that, which is obviously really great, but unfortunately content is not gonna look like that anymore, especially on Instagram. It's just a no-no. So God gave me the revelation that I should stop doing that. I felt as though, you know, I was holding on to fashion a lot because that's all that I've known on social media while being on social media. And it's something that I've done for years and years and years. So when I got saved, I thought, okay, this is my gift, this is what I'm good at, so maybe I'll put out there modest fashion and things like that. That's what I thought God was telling me to do. I mean, I think me doing fashion wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think it definitely served its purpose. But what revelation I got from God is that I should stop doing fashion, and basically I'm not allowed to do that no more. And the reason being is basically for my calling and what God has put forth in my life, I was basically just adding on to vanity and allowing people to basically indulge in materialistic things. If you look at Instagram, for instance, it is all about the things that I got, showing off the things that you got. This is the new trend, this, that, and obviously we're in this cycle of constantly having the latest clothes, having the latest shoes, this and that, and obviously that's not what God wants from us. So stuff concerning beauty and fashion, God said stop that. Yeah, basically I'm just adding on to vanity, and I'm not gonna lie, that was a very hard hit because like I said, you know, that's all that I've known to do. But at that point in the moment of, you know, the conviction and everything, I really understood it because, you know, I feel like in this day and age we're so concerned about how we look, what we're wearing and whatever, and it is a main priority to a lot of us, but for where we're going, that doesn't matter. And if you think about it, there's gonna come a time in life where everything is going to perish. Jesus Christ is coming back soon, and yeah, there's a lot more stuff that we should be concerned about. So basically at that point I did have a vision, and I was in front of God, and he was basically asking me and holding me accountable and saying, did you do everything that I asked you to do, or were you just out here putting out fashion? And then I was like, wow, okay, cool. You really got me on that one, because I think sometimes people do shy away from, you know, spreading the gospel in different ways, but just sort of fall into more worldly things because that's what's seen as more acceptable. But God just said, please, that's just not for you. And then I remember a couple of days later now, I was in a position where I was now praying to God, but in this prayer I started crying because I was just like, wow, I really held up my worth to the things that I necessarily didn't have. So I'd be like, God, why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? And that comes with the pressures of the stuff that happens online. You know, you're looking at people having all these things and then you may not necessarily have those things. And I was like, this stuff is just material. It's just like, if I was to put fire on it, it's all just gonna burn. But what matters the most is where my heart's set, my relationship with God, and where I'm gonna go after this. And that really brought me down to earth and really opened my eyes so much. And yeah, I was really humbled. And within all this revelation, God also confirmed that I should be living a more simple life and not really concerned about all of these things. So I even looked at my wardrobe, saw all these clothes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I don't need all of these things. Saw all my shoes, and I remember just clearing out my wardrobe. I literally threw away like all my sunglasses. I threw away like all my earrings. I just kept this pair, but I literally just cleared everything out. And I honestly felt so free, because I feel like you just get roped into this sort of, I don't know, you just get so worked up about it. And at that point, and I know this seems silly because a lot of you might not be involved in social media like that, but at that point I just felt like I could live life for real, and I just felt free. And I was like, wow, you know, just letting go of everything superficial. And within that time as well of just getting the revelation, God also really filtered out a lot in my life, in terms of even friendships, in terms of like perspective on life, on different things and stuff like that. And I think it was preparing me for baby. So even before I came off social media, I didn't think it was necessarily because I was pregnant, but I think God had to position me in a place where I was free from it all, and I was just focused on me and him, and that was it, which really helped, because so many questions I had, I got so many answers to. And then I was put on a path where everything basically made sense, and especially for baby, how we're gonna raise baby and everything like that. So that is the life update, and also the revelation that I got from God about me. So yeah, content is definitely gonna look a lot different on Instagram, so bear with me, because I am trying to still get my feet in it, because I'm not 100% sure on what God wants me to put out there. And also, just because of this, I also have to be very intentional about everything basically, and actually getting wisdom from him, so that I'm not just putting out whatever. So yeah, that's where we're at. And basically, oh, I forgot to say, we will also be talking about conceiving, how this baby was conceived and everything like that. So I think I'll basically just jump straight into conceiving, then we'll talk about the first trimester as well. So conceiving for us was very easy, and I'm so grateful to God. We pretty much got pregnant straight away, so that could have been a thing where it was gonna take a year, 2 years, whatever, but that wasn't the case. And I think, yeah, God really blessed us in that area. So I remember actually getting a question about this, so I thought I might just talk about it. So we never went on any contraception at all. We spoke about this way before we got married, and we both decided that it wasn't a good idea for me to go on contraception. We basically just played it safe. So in my heart, I would love to do natural family planning, and I know that's such a big risk to take, but I just didn't want to really alter my body too much, or wean myself off any sort of contraception that's in my body, or for something complicated to happen to my body so that I'm not able to have kids. Obviously, I personally don't know too much about contraception. I don't know if it is even a thing where your body will alter so much that you can't have kids, or something will happen to your body or whatever, but I just didn't want to take the chances basically. So conceiving for us was easy. Pretty much got pregnant straight away. Yeah, so the day that we the egg got fertilized, we were basically pregnant. Well, the test was positive like 10 days later. So first things first, baby making is not as great as people make it out to be in the movies. It's hard, it's tiring, it's exhausting, and I think it's more goal orientated, like you know you've got a goal to get to, so you're gonna do that. And it's not about the music and the settings and the whatever. Basically, maybe the first night, the second night, y'all can do whatever, the romantic, but it's definitely not consistent, especially if you know your ovulation cycle. You're just basically trying to make sure that you're getting pregnant within that timeline. So basically, yeah, we just went at it like rabbits, because they do recommend that's what you do like days before your actual ovulation, because apparently the sperm does last in the woman's body for about 5 days or so. So even if you didn't get to do it on the actual ovulation, it is very, very likely that your egg will get fertilized. But obviously it's different for everybody, but that's what I read up. On the actual ovulation date, we didn't actually manage to, you know, baby make, which I was really worried about. I was like, oh my gosh, how if I don't get pregnant? But yeah, I did. I got pregnant, which was really good. So grateful that we managed to conceive very easily and basically straight away. I think the first time that the juices went into my body, I think that's when, to be honest, my egg was fertilized. Pretty much the next day or something like that, because I remember waking up the next morning and I was genuinely in a depressive state. And I don't know if it's because like things in my body were changing, or obviously sperm apparently is like a foreign object in your body when it goes in there, so it tries to like fight it away. So I remember the day after, literally I spent the whole day in bed, and I've never felt this type of exhaustion. Like, it was crazy, and I was just led there like, oh my gosh, I just feel like I'm actually not here, like my soul has left my body. Even the day after, so it was like 2 days where I was literally just in bed, but I was so moody and so grumpy, and I just didn't know why, and I was so exhausted. But maybe it's because like things were working up in there. But yeah, that was a lot. And then we obviously move on to me being pregnant, so my first trimester. So my first trimester was just a pain, an absolute pain. And I know some women get it worse than I did, but guys, we can't invalidate somebody's feelings because somebody else had it worse. It was just bad. I just didn't enjoy it. And when I was going through the symptoms of first trimester, I said I'm not having another kid. That's when I made up my mind. Obviously I don't know, but at that point I was like, no, I'm not doing this again, because I can't go through this again. So the things that I actually experienced in my first trimester was nausea, morning sickness. I had a metallic taste in my mouth. Some points of my pregnancy, I was so cold, like the cold would reach my bones. I was so cold, I was freezing. And then vivid dreams. Vivid dreams was the craziest thing, but I had vivid dreams. Obviously the exhaustion, tiredness, cramping in the abdomen area, sore breasts, like when they were growing, they were really sore. Phlegm in my throat, that was a thing. Acne on my face, that was a real thing. Dizziness, clumsiness, baby brain, like there was just so much going on. But I will touch on a couple of the worst symptoms that I experienced in my first trimester. So first things first, I didn't even know that morning sickness was a thing that's just not for the morning, it's the whole day. Basically I was so confused, because you'd be thinking, okay cool, I've woken up, I've gone to the toilet, I'm like puking or whatever, and that's it for the day. But no, it's a whole day thing, which I had no clue about. So initially at the start of the pregnancy, I was experiencing nausea, which was fine. So at that point I was thinking, did people lie about this morning sickness? Because I thought, why am I not being sick? Why do I just feel sick but nothing is coming out? I really hated that, because I would have rather just been sick and got on with it, because at least I know I'm on like my way to feeling better or getting better type of thing. So the nausea for me was just terrible. And not long after that, I started experiencing like the heightened smell. So the kitchen door always had to be closed. I remember I rarely ever cooked, and one thing that I really loved before getting pregnant was garlic. I cooked with garlic oil, garlic and everything. I'm just a garlic person, and that was my aversion. Even till this day, I cannot stand the smell of garlic. And if somebody has had garlic, I can smell it from like literally over there. I can smell it in your skin, I can smell it in your mouth, I can just smell it, and it's so strong. Whereas before, I definitely wouldn't have been able to smell it like that bad, but now it's so heightened and it's like ugh. And then later on then came the morning sickness. That for me was just a no-go, especially those days where you really want to consume good food and then the baby is just like, nah, we're not having this. Vomit. I didn't throw up like loads and loads, but I experienced nausea like really bad, so I feel sick constantly. But compared to me feeling nauseous and me being actually sick, I was more nauseous than I was sick. I only had like a whole week of sickness after every meal on my like 14th week or something, which was not great. Literally after every meal I'd just throw up because the baby just wasn't having it. But I also think maybe everything was just coming out of me, and that was the end of like the worst symptoms. Because after that, because at that point I would have now been in my second trimester, so things were probably gonna start getting better. But yeah, nausea, vomiting, the worst. And another thing, the metallic taste that you get in your mouth, I don't even know if it's metallic. I can't explain like what it is, but it makes food just taste absolutely horrendous. Like I don't know, like you put something in your mouth and it just doesn't taste like what it's meant to taste like. That was absolutely terrible, because you really want to enjoy something, but this metallic taste in your mouth was just constantly there. And I also had it when I wasn't eating. So my worst symptom for me, which was spitting. So my mouth will salivate very quickly. Within like a minute of me closing my mouth was full with like saliva, and I'd have to have like a sticky cup or container or something to constantly be spitting out. So what made that really bad for me was the fact that I had this like phlegm in my throat. So when I'm trying to get this phlegm out, plus get the saliva out, plus this metallic taste in my mouth constantly tasted like, do you know when you're so hungry and your mouth really smells, but the smell, you can taste it in your mouth, plus the phlegm, plus the metallic taste, and you have to now spit it out. So all the time it felt like I was actually just gonna throw up everything. And I think a lot of the time when I was trying to get the phlegm out my throat is when I'd actually be sick, because you're trying to just bring all this gunk up, and then you can smell this horrendous taste, you can taste this horrendous taste. For me that was the worst, because it was an all day thing. Like literally all day I'd just be spitting. And when that went away, I was just like, thank you, Jesus. However, I still have phlegm in my throat constantly, and there are some tablets like mucus tablets and stuff like that, but I can't take them just because I am pregnant. So I basically just have to go through the motions until probably the 9 months. I have to have this phlegm in my throat. So I do clear my throat quite frequently. It's really annoying, but now I've just decided I'm just going to ignore it, because some of it is brought on by like certain foods, so like dairy, juices, anything sweet, stuff like that. Yeah, and to be fair, sometimes it just comes after eating, but it's literally constantly there the whole day, which is really annoying. But yeah, that was so bad. And yeah, I'm so glad we went past that, because even thinking about it now, I just feel absolutely sick. And then the vivid dreams, I didn't even know that was a thing. So basically with the vivid dreams, I literally remembered every single dream that I had, and all my dreams were pretty much HD. Like if I was to dream of grass, the grass would be like bright green HD. I can see like each particle of it. Like it was crazy. And also a lot of these dreams were bad dreams, so it was pretty much me having nightmares. So essentially, like, when I wake up in the morning, I'd be in a really bad mood because I've had a bad dream. Like, it was so weird. But the vivid dreams I didn't really enjoy, so it meant that I was having pretty much restless nights. I'll be sleeping, but I won't be sleeping, so I'd be awake but I'd be asleep at the same time. It was so weird, such a weird like feeling. And yeah, that was so weird, the vivid dreams. And they stopped. I do have them now and again, but it's like very sporadically, so maybe once every so long, so maybe a couple of weeks or whatever. So it's not as bad now, which I'm actually really grateful for, because yeah, it was just too much. And the feeling cold, so I did look up online and not a lot of people felt cold. I think pregnant women usually feel hot, but I felt really cold. But I really think that I have like anemia or something. I don't know, because even in my normal life when I'm not pregnant, I'm usually quite cold. So this cold that like would reach my bones was just like so numbing sometimes. I'd be like, ugh, I'm so cold. Like I felt so cold. And then what else? And the sore boobs. So the sore boobs were what they were really. It's just sore boobs because obviously your skin is expanding, your boobs are getting bigger, so they feel heavy. Especially when I woke up in the morning, like rolling out of bed, and then gravity hits and it's like whew, then your boobs just fall down. That was quite interesting. So now my boobs are a lot bigger than what they used to be. So now they sweat underneath. I never used to have that. Now I'm just like, what do I do? Like, do you know what I mean? So it is a lot because I've never had big boobs before, and now they're literally just there. And also baby brain came in quite quickly for me, but it wasn't like anything extreme. It would literally be me like forgetting what I'm saying in the middle of a sentence, and that's pretty much it. But I wasn't like forgetting where I was putting things or whatever. No, nothing like that. There was a point in time also I was getting really clumsy. In one day I nearly fell over like 5 times, but that didn't last long though for some reason, so I thought it would be like a constant thing, but it'll probably be something that will come back at some point. But yeah, I kept falling over and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to be really careful. Acne. I already have acne prone skin, so the hormones really didn't help. It was mostly this side of my face, like here. My skin was so bad and I didn't know what to do with it as well. Like I tried different products and everything, but also because I wasn't in the best of states or had a lot of energy, I wasn't putting much effort into actually washing my face or even washing myself. Do you know what I mean? Like some days were just a no-go. So maybe that contributed also, because you know, the oils, the foods you're eating and everything like that, that could have definitely contributed. But this side of my face especially was the absolute worst. But now it's all started to go down, maybe because the hormones have subsided a little bit, and yeah, we'll get into that glowing stage, so that's good. And also during my first trimester, to be honest, especially because that's when the hormones were so heightened, I never actually had any mood swings at all, which I think also made me really believe that I was having a little baby boy, because I've been so chilled out. Like I can't even remember like any one moment that I've shouted at anyone or yeah, nothing. I was so chilled out. So I thought, yeah, I definitely am having a boy. These hormones are very leveled in different aspects, so yeah, never had mood swings and was chilled out despite all the things that were happening that weren't so great. I was still very happy. Like I was just happy within myself. Like I was just so chilled out, like just good vibes, and that was it. So there were points in my first trimester, to be honest. I think for me is because I like to control the things that happen in my life. So because I wasn't able to control the things that were happening to me, I really struggled with that, honestly. There were some points where, you know, for a day or 2 days I'd be in such a depressive state because it was just too overwhelming at times. The emotions, the changes in your body, everything that is happening, and you just trying to figure things out, and obviously being tired from growing a whole human being. It was very overwhelming that sometimes I just could not even deal with it at all. And I would have times where I just felt so depressed, because also winter blues, when it was cold and everything and it was dark outside, you wake up, it's dark, and you're sleeping the whole day, you wake up again and it's dark. I was literally having like 16-hour sleeping days. Like, it was crazy. Like, the exhaustion was so crazy. So yeah, I did have some bad moments within my first trimester, and when you're explaining it, it doesn't sound so bad, but when you're going through it, guys, the emotions that came with this was just absolutely terrible. But yeah, we got through it. We really thank Jesus, because yeah, I was just like, how am I gonna do this? Because, you know, you can't reverse getting pregnant. Like, you really are stuck in it. And I was thinking, wow, I've got so many more months to go. How am I even gonna cope? Because I was also now thinking, oh my goodness, how about if I have sickness all the way throughout to the 9 months? What am I gonna do? Or if I'm feeling or having certain symptoms all the way through, what am I actually gonna do? I didn't think I was gonna be able to cope. And now I completely understand, like, why women in pregnancy actually get depressed. There's so many like different aspects, and everybody's pregnancy is so different, but so many different things happen to people, and you're just like, wow, how do people go through this? It really is hard accommodating your body for you to share with somebody else, and they really be sucking it out of you. They literally suck the life out of you. But one thing that I will say about the first trimester, and especially for me, is the fact that, you know, you don't feel so supported in the first trimester, because you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's happening in your body. If you've never had a baby before, it's sort of like so many questions, etc. And I know you have your midwife available, however, there's a difference in getting information and a difference in actually being able to see your baby. So I personally think that the 12-week scan is very far away, and I'm very, you know, grateful that there are services like you paying for your own scan beforehand to get like reassurance and stuff like that, because there are different types of miscarriages, obviously. So the ones that are obvious when you bleed, etc., but some people will still bleed in the pregnancy and the baby's fine. But is that, you know, sort of panic and yeah, not being sure like everything is okay. And then obviously there's missed miscarriages where you don't get any symptoms of a miscarriage, but the baby may not be okay. So, you know, I watched a video of some lady talking about her baby had passed away at like 7 weeks, and she only found out like at 12 weeks. So that's like so many weeks with the baby inside of you, you know, not alive. And those are the worries that you as a mum will have when you're carrying this child. And I always used to think like, oh, I hope the baby's okay, I hope the baby's okay, because obviously you can't feel it moving, you can't see it, nothing like that. So I was very grateful that we were able to actually go and see a scan before the 12 weeks just to get that reassurance. But even after that, it is really hard, you know. You sort of want to see your baby constantly, and I remember just thinking, let's book another scan, let's book another scan. But I was just like, Tendo, just chill out, like seriously, just chill out. You're fine, you feel fine, I'm sure the baby's fine, there's no form of bleeding, you can't feel anything that is wrong with you. But I think sometimes you psych yourself up so much that you start thinking, oh, this feels a little bit funny or whatever. So in that respect, the paranoia is a lot, and I don't know how somebody could offer you more support, but I just wish there was more support. But I guess that's where mummy friends come in and stuff like that, people who've been through it, so you can talk through these things together. But I think what really brought me a sound mind, honestly, was just praying about it, because like I've said time and time again, this child was a gift from God to us, and I really believe this child is something so special. Like, I probably can't even comprehend what a blessing he's gonna be, and I really feel it in my body and in my bones that this child is just gonna be like the biggest blessing. Like, I can't even put it into words, but I know as time goes by, God is really going to reveal to us what our baby's purpose is and everything like that. But I'm super excited. Yeah, that's basically a nutshell of the conception life update. So pregnancy, and also the revelation about social media, and also what I went through in my first trimester. If I forgot anything, I will add it into my second trimester video, because the first trimester was really the ghetto. One thing that I forgot to mention actually is the impact that it has on your partner. Obviously, in first trimester, for me personally, it was all about keeping my peace, my surroundings. I didn't want any stress, no nothing. I wanted to just chill out, focus on me, focus on my health, focus on my child, focus just on me. And I know that is quite selfish, but also it is very valid at the end of the day, because it's not a small thing growing a child, and if anything brings you bad energy, please no. So my first trimester was very peaceful, because like I said, God already filtered out a lot of like areas of my life, so that was really good. But also first trimester was quite selfish in the sense that obviously your partner's going through it with you, but you're being selfish because it's all about what you're feeling, but it also has a massive impact on your partner. I can't speak on the father's behalf, but sometimes I just look at him and I can see that my guy is exhausted. He was literally at hand and foot for me for those 14-15 weeks. It was really tough, and now, you know, just questioning him, he's like, yeah, it was really hard. So it is nice to have such a supportive partner when you are pregnant. And I couldn't have imagined like doing it without him. It would have been so hard. Like, I don't think I would have coped. So I'm really grateful for that. But I know he also went through the ringer, although I was really going through it physically, but emotionally, mentally, also physically for him, because he was up and down, like everywhere, just trying to make sure that I'm okay. But yeah, it was a very trying time, but I really thank God that we went past that, and now we're good, all good, and just going through the motions of the baby growing, and that's it. So the most hard part of it was, yeah, we've overcome it. So that's really good. But basically we'll talk about the apps and everything that I used in my first trimester, even till now, the apps that I'm using now and everything. I'll talk about it in my second trimester video. But yeah, that's all that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Mwah.